A BJP legislator from Karnataka has been named as a prime accused in a bribe case and he's currently absconding. The opposition Congress has put up missing posters in his name in his home constituency. In this episode of Politics with Pooja, I'll tell you what the Lokayukta bribe case is and how corruption has become the biggest headache for Chief Minister Bommai. Before I tell you what the latest developments are, let me quickly recap the entire issue for you. Last week, the Lokayukta police laid a trap and caught Prashant Madal red-handed taking a bribe of 40 lakh rupees. Prashant Madal works as the chief accountant in BWSSB in Bengaluru, but more importantly, he's the son of a BJP legislator. The MLA that we're talking about is Madal Virupaksha from Channagiri in Davangere district. But more importantly, he was the chairperson of the Karnataka Soap and Detergents Limited. The Lokayukta say that the bribe that Prashant was accepting was on behalf of his father and was from a vendor for a deal to supply raw materials to produce soaps and detergent. In the raid that followed, the Lokayukta police seized 6.6 crores from Prashant's house in Bengaluru and another 2.2 crores from his father's house in Bengaluru. Prashant and 4 others have been arrested by the Lokayukta police and sent to judicial custody for 14 days. Meanwhile, Madal Virupaksha, who has been named as the prime accused in the case, has been absconding and his lawyers have moved for anticipatory bail. I'll tell you what happened to that case in just a bit, but the opposition has been alleging that he was last seen on March 4th at the Chief Minister's residence in Bengaluru when he came to tender his resignation as the chairman of the Karnataka Soap and Detergents Limited. And since then, he has gone absconding. The opposition has been asking how a legislator who was given security by the state government was allowed to go missing in this fashion. Meanwhile, the Karnataka Youth Congress put up missing posters of Madal Virupaksha in his home constituency of Channagiri and across Davangere as well. The posters that we're talking about described Virupaksha as a 72-year-old man of wheatish complexion, also put up photos of the MLA and urged the citizens to inform the police in case they get to know anything about his whereabouts. And even as the police are searching for the BJP MLA, the Karnataka High Court has granted conditional bail to him. The conditions of the bail is that he should surrender himself before the investigating team within 48 hours of receiving the bail, and also he has been instructed to not tamper with any kind of evidence. Corruption has become the biggest headache for Chief Minister Bommai ahead of elections. Last time around, in 2018, the BJP had accused Siddaramaia's government of taking 10% commission in all projects and had made corruption one of the biggest issues ahead of polls. But this time around, even as Chief Minister Bommai faces multiple allegations of corruption across departments, corruption will be the biggest headache for the BJP. Last year, the Karnataka State Contractors Association made a huge allegation against the Bommai government, saying that they were forced to pay 40% of all projects across government departments to get tenders and also to get their pending bills released. They also have been on a warpath with the government since then, even threatening to release audio clips as well as documentary evidence they claim they have against ministers and legislators of the Bommai government. Just a few months after this, the Karnataka State Private Schools Association also made a similar allegation against the Bommai government, saying that they were forced to pay lakhs of rupees in bribes to get licenses as well as permission. In fact, they took this allegation to the Prime Minister when they wrote a letter to him in August 2022. The recruitment to 545 vacant positions of police sub-inspectors was also hit by corruption allegation last year, when 54,000 aspirants had applied for examination and the opposition had released audio clips saying that the recruitment was in fact tampered with, and this issue currently is being investigated by the CID in Karnataka. Even as the investigation into this issue was going on, the audio clips of a sex trafficker in conversation with senior police officers in Karnataka negotiating transfer deals also caused a huge embarrassment for the Bommai couple. Santro Ravi, who is otherwise known as KS Manjunath, was heard negotiating transfers of senior positions like SP and DYSP in Karnataka, all this while bragging about his alleged proximity with the Chief Minister and also claiming to have connections with senior bureaucrats and officers in the Karnataka government. Santro Ravi has a long history of trafficking women and children for sex and had been photographed with senior ministers of the Bommai cabinet, including the Home Minister, Education Minister, as well as the Health Minister. Every time national BJP leaders come to campaign in Karnataka, they accuse the previous Congress governments of corruption. But given the long list of corruption charges that their government in Karnataka faces, it will be difficult for them to continue with this line of campaigning.